Hey, this is Being. Welcome to Gann's Repeats How To. Let's get started on this. Gann's trading records for 1933. From August 1 to December 31, total number of trades 135, of which 112 showed profits and 23 losses. Percentage of accuracy on total number of trades 83%. Percentage of profits to losses 89.9%. Total number of trades for the entire year of 1933, 479 trades, of which 422 were profits and 57 showed losses. Percentage of accuracy, 88.1%. Percentage of profits on capital used, 4,000 or 40 to 1. I'll let you read, you can just pause it here. I'll let you read 34 and 35 for yourselves. In order to substantiate Mr. Gann's claims as to what he was able to do under his method, we called upon Mr. William E. Guiley, an inspector of imports, 16 Beaver Street, New York. Mr. Guiley is well known in the downtown district. He himself has studied stock market movements for 25 years, during which time he was examined every piece of market literature that has been issued and procurable in Wall Street. It was he who encouraged Mr. Gann to study the scientific and mathematical possibilities of the subject. When asked what had been the most impressive of Mr. Gann's work and predictions, he replied as follows. It is very difficult for me to remember all the predictions and operations of W.D. Gann, which may be classed as phenomenal, but the following are a few. In 1908, when Union Pacific was at 168 1/8, he told me it would not touch 169 before it had a good break. He sold it short all the way down to 152 5/8, covering on the weak spots and putting it out again on the rallies, securing 23 points profit out of an 18-point market wave. One of the most astonishing calculations made by Mr. Gann was during last summer, 1909, when he predicted that September wheat would sell at 120. This meant that it must touch that figure before the end of the month of September. At 12 o'clock Chicago time on September 30th, the last day, the option was selling below $1.08, and it looked as though his prediction would not be fulfilled. Mr. Gann said, if it does not touch 120 by the close of the market, it will prove that there is something wrong with my whole method of calculation. I do not care what the price is now. It must go there. It is common history that September wheat surprised the whole country by selling at 120 and no higher in the very last hour of trading, closing at that figure. So much for what W.D. Gann has said and done, as evidenced by himself and others. Now, as to what demonstrations have taken place before our representative. During the month of October 1909, in 25 market days, W.D. Gann made, in the presence of our representative, 286 transactions in various stocks, on both the long and short side of the market. 264 of these transactions resulted in profits, 22 in losses. The capital which he operated was doubled 10 times, so that at the end of the month he had 1,000% of his original margin. We have seen Gann give in one day 16 successive orders in the same stock, 8 of which turned out to be either at the top or the bottom eighth of that particular swing. The above we can positively verify. So, okay, what we've done here is we've taken a look at a little bit of what's out there and what the man actually did. Okay, and remember, this is just a small, we'll call it sampling of what's out there. Okay, notice everything here was audited by a third party. Okay, it wasn't Gann talking, yeah, I did this and I did that and I did. This was all third party. Even the financial statements we saw were independently audited. Okay, how did he do this? That's the question that we really want to get to the root of. And let's get started on working with that concept. There's much speculation as to how Gann was able to achieve such great feats on a consistent basis. In reality, he simply isolated the cause of all market movements and was then able to predict consistently the effects. That's great, good for him, but what about us? So many have heard of Gann and have lusted after a system. Where did he put it? Where's it at? He put his methods in the book, The Tunnel Through the Air, which, by the way, you can get free on my website. Well, my entire website's free, but you can get the book there, too. From the foreword of his book, The Tunnel Through the Air. The tunnel through the air is mysterious and contains a valuable secret clothed in a veiled language. Some will find it the first time they read it. Others will see it the second reading. But the greatest number will find the hidden secret when they read it the third time. Okay? The tunnel through the air is mysterious and contains a valuable secret. W.D. Gann used primarily two systems, one which combines planets with numbers, and the other which uses only numbers, vibrating at certain angles. Encompassed within these two systems are all of Gann's cycles, and that's a very important statement. W.D. Gann used cycles that repeat from the past, thus the saying, history repeats itself, or from a different source, Ecclesiastes 1:9. What has been is what will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun, aka history repeats. The premise behind both of his systems is that the vibrations, which are highs and lows, repeat from the past in a methodical, timed manner. Okay? That's at the core. Once again, that's the premise behind both of his systems is that the vibrations, which are highs and lows, repeat from the past in a methodical, timed manner. Gann. Daniel was known to be a great prophet and astrologer. In his prophecies, he foretold war, pestilence, and famine to come upon this earth. And by a proper study of the repetition of cycles, we can determine the time when important events will take place in the future. There it is. Repetition of cycles, you see. Gann. This makes it plain that everything works according to past cycles and that history repeats itself in the lives of men, nations, the stock market, and all Forex markets, you see. This is what's behind the Forex markets, or any other market for that matter. Gann. How do I forecast future cycles, you may ask? In order to forecast future cycles, the most important thing is to begin right. For if we have the right beginning, we will get the right ending. If we know the cause of the effect, then there can be no doubt about predicting the future event or effect. I have always looked for causes, and once I determine a cause, I can always be sure of the effect or future event which I predict. It is not my aim to explain the cause of cycles. The general public is not yet ready for it and probably would not understand or believe it even if I did explain it. Very important words there. Okay? Cycles, cycles, cycles. So Gann's time cycles have lengths of repeat. In order to forecast, it is mandatory to have the correct length of repeat. Like, all you need is the start date and to know which cycle is going to repeat. If we have a massive low in September 21 of 2001, and like say the stock market, and knew this cycle length would be 13.9 years, we would be able to predict a low in August of 2015. Then the question becomes, where do we discover these lengths? It's the Airships and Tunnel book. Okay? The Tunnel Through the Air book. The airships. You must find what they are and how long they are. But what about the other kinds of cycles, the ones, that use just number? Study closely the inventions that Robert and Walter discover in the book. Also, always keep in mind that Robert had great love for Marie. That entire book is about financial markets, even though when he's talking about other things, it's about financial markets. His only goal in that book, other than to help you understand the Bible, is to show you how financial markets operate. Okay? If you have gained insight from my videos, subscribe so you can get the latest of my free market calls, forecasts, commentary, and teachings. Knowledge is priceless. Hey, this is BA reminding you, you can succeed. Bye-bye.